Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Monday, the 22nd of March. Hi, I'm Paul and I'll be your host today in the news today. And we'll bring you up to speed with the international cricket. There's been NRL action over yesterday. In the rugby, we bring up to speed with the Super Rugby and also the Six Nations, which was ongoing live as we talked to you yesterday. We have got squash action here in New Zealand, as well as jet sprint action as well. In the basketball, there's the NBA and the NBL. In the football, the A-League with the Phoenix in action yesterday, and also we had the final of the New Zealand Premiership. We've also got some more victories and good news from skiing in the snow sports, and we'll obviously bring up to speed with the golf in the PGA and the European Tour as well. This is your best way to start the day up to speed with all of the important sports news. Yes, let's crack on with that news around Alice Robinson, who has won the FIS Giant Slalom World Cup finals today. Oh, sorry, last night. She was in fourth place after her after the first run. But in the second run, she was the fastest by over a second to take first place. And she becomes the first person to win three FIS World Cups before the age of 20 since Mateva Zvet back in 86 to 88. So fantastic results there by Alice Robinson over in Europe. She said, look, it's been tough with COVID and everything. She's had to be in Europe for 9 months now, away from family, but and hasn't been able to go home. So it's been a fantastic end to the season for her, and congratulations. There's some really good champions, really good athletes in our snow sports setup currently, which we're very proud of. Moving on then to the golf, and over there in Europe, well, actually in Africa on the European Tour, the Kenya Open came to a conclusion with Harding of South Africa winning that one at 21 under par, 2 shots clear of the field. Keeping with golf, and over in the States, we have the PGA have got the Honda Classic on currently. The fourth round is live. Jones is leading that one. He's yet to tee off in the fourth round at 10 under, 3 shots of clear of a chasing pack of 4 golfers at 7 under par. So lots of people ready to chase Jones down in that one. Staying over in the States with the NBA, and 5 games from yesterday. The Clippers beat the Hornets 125 to 98. The Bucks beat the Spurs 120 to 113, and the 76ers beat the Kings 129 to 105 in key results. The Grizzlies beat the Warriors 111 to 103, which is not so key. But the Lakers lost to the Hawks 99 to 94. But perhaps more importantly is that they've lost LeBron James to an ankle injury. And there is no news yet as to how long that will be before he comes back. So a major loss for the Lakers there. Looking at the table then, and in the Eastern Conference, 76ers ahead of the Nets and the Bucks still, with the 76ers and Bucks picking up wins yesterday. Over in the Western Conference, the Jazz go top ahead of the Suns and Lakers, with the Clippers slipping down to 4th in that one. So tight amongst those top 4 on the Western side, or at least the chasing pack of the Jazz on the Western side there. Today, the Pelicans are back in action, and that's Steven Adams' team. They started 8 a.m. this morning against the Nuggets. Sticking with the basketball over in the NBL in Australia, we had two games yesterday. Melbourne United beat the Hawks 75-65, and the Kings beat the Taipans in a close one, 75-73 in that one. The Kings up into 6th place now, 2 places ahead of the Breakers, who are in 8th. They will be next back in action on Thursday against Melbourne United, who picked up that win against the Hawks yesterday. There is one game today. The Wildcats take on the 36ers at 11:30 p.m. New Zealand time. Sticking over there in Australia for the football and in the A-League, we had 2 games yesterday. Adelaide United had a comfortable win over the Newcastle Jets, 4-1 in that one. Wellington, though, had a 1-1 draw with Brisbane Roar, and lots of controversy around handball in that one, and with the call going against the Wellington Phoenix with at the end of the game. So look out for, or join us for the Nix newsletter on Wednesday evening at 9 p.m, where I'm sure they will go through that one in detail there with that one, as the Phoenix drew with a 10-man Brisbane Roar at the end there. Sticking with the football, and it was the final of the New Zealand Premiership, not just the final for this season, but the final ever, as they have a new format next year. Congratulations to Team Wellington, who beat Auckland City 4-2 at North Harbour Stadium there in that one, claiming their 3rd title over the last 5 years. So well done to Team Wellington there in that one. Heading back across the Tasman, we should cover off on the NRL action. And yesterday, there were 2 games. The Roosters thumped the Western Tigers 40-6, and the Raiders had a close one with the Sharks, beating them 12-10 in that one. Just 2 points there in that one. Do join the boys on the standoff on Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. When they'll go through all of the round 2 action from the NRL and preview the round 3 action as well with that one. Back over onto these shores, and we had the Jets Sprint championships held down, well, round 4 of the championship down in, gone blank where it was, but that doesn't really matter. In the Group B, John Verney and Leela Burden picked up their 3rd win of the season. So they won 3 out of 4 and have a commanding lead there in the championship going into the last round. In Group A, the PSP boat of Ollie Silverton and Jess Sitt won that one for their 2nd win of the season to close the gap on Simon Gibbon and Donna Thompson in that Group A. That's going to be a tight fought one with one more round to go. In the Mouthfresh Superboats, the Sam Newdick and Sharma Putranui won that one with their 4th win out of 4 races this season. Really be a dominant performance in the Superboat from them in their PSP boat as well. So Team PSP, a really good weekend there with 2 wins in the 2 categories that they entered. Moving on then to the squash, and in the squash here in New Zealand, we had we had a win for 20-year-old Caitlin Watts from Manawatu, who beat the New Zealand champion Emma Miller 8-11, 11-8, 7-11, 12-10, 11-1 in that one, in a cracking final there with the 5-set thriller for that one. In the men's side of things, and top seed Labuan Chileshi managed to win that one. He's the Kiwi champion against Wilts Donnelly, 11-7, 7-11, 9-11, 11-3, 11-6. It's come from 2 sets to 1 down to win that one there. So that's the PSA Challenger tournament here at Royal Oak over the weekend. In the cricket, and we have the first test match between Sri Lanka and the West Indies. That's currently underway in as we speak. Sri Lanka have opened the batting with an 113 for 5 in that one. Currently, their Thrimain is not out on 51, the opener there, but has been losing wickets all around him. Finally, Dick Weller, the wicket keeper, is sticking with him at the moment at 12, not out. 2 wickets for the opening bowler, Roach, in there, has done the damage. Over in the rugby then, and as we were speaking yesterday, we had the Six Nations was on with Scotland beating Italy overnight. That was as we spoke. There was the Ireland was playing England. That finished 32-18 to Ireland in that one, including a red card to Bundy Aki. But the game of the day was France versus Wales, with Wales going for the Grand Slam. And this was an absolute cracking game. It finished 32-30. They went all the way to the final whistle there, with France scoring after time was up to win the game in that one. Cracking advert for rugby in there, as France keep their title hopes alive. They've due to COVID, they've had their game postponed against Scotland. That will be coming up on Friday night hour or Saturday morning our time at 9 a.m. Next weekend. France need to win with a try bonus point and by 20 points. So a real tough one there for France if they want to be the tournament champions. We also had a good game yesterday in the Super Rugby, as the Blues hosted the Crusaders in that one. The scoreline shows a big win for the Crusaders, 27-43, but the Blues were in this one late on until the Crusaders managed to pull it away. So in the first half, the Blues came out well, but struggled before half time, and it looked like that they could have been in trouble, but they managed to hold out against the Crusaders and came out in the second half in a much better state of mind, but it wasn't to be. That means now that the Crusaders sit top of the table with 4 wins from 4 in that one. They'll have a bye week this week, as the Blues are in second place, ahead of the Highlanders, Chiefs, and the Hurricanes in the table. Do join us on Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. for the Driving Maul Show. We'll go over all the top news in rugby, and if you want to catch a review of all the action from the Super Rugby round, then to catch our review show that came out last night, and you can watch the recording of that on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, or you can listen as a podcast or search for New Zealand Sports Radio. You have now started the day the best way up with all the important sports news. We'll be back at 8 p.m. this evening with Swinging from the Hip, your weekly cricketing fix, and then I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. with the morning sports briefing.